Liberal seat of Warringah, have found themselves in the middle of one of the most hotly contested battles of this election.
Former Prime Minister Tony Abbott has held the seat for 25 years and his primary vote has never fallen below 50%. But he's under threat from independent candidate Zali Steggall. Reporter Jessica Kidd is in Warringah.
As you said, he holds the electorate of Warringah in Sydney's north on a margin of more than 11%. By anyone's measure, that should be a healthy margin. And yet, as he says, he's in the fight of his seat because he's under challenge from independent candidate and former Olympic skier Zali Steggall. Now, she is campaigning on a platform of being a small L Liberal. She says she's an economic conservative, but she's socially progressive. And her main platform is climate change. And that is actually a very big issue in this seat. The northern beaches of Sydney is known for its amazing coastline, its bushland. You know, it's home to one of Sydney's most famous walks, the Spit Bridge to Manly. This is a seat that is very much in touch with its environment, and climate change is a huge issue in the electorate. Only a couple of years ago, Sydney-siders would remember there was a massive storm that swept through, and there were houses on the beach in Narrabeen where their backyards were eroded overnight. There was one case where a swimming pool was dangling into the ocean. This is an electorate that has felt the brunt of major storms and climate events, and they are looking at their politicians to do something about that. So there is a lot of frustration at what is perceived to be the inaction from Mr Abbott. There is also a lot of frustration about the same-sex marriage plebiscite. This was an electorate that voted overwhelmingly in favour of same-sex marriage, with around 75% of the electorate voting yes. And yet when it came to that vote in Parliament, Mr Abbott abstained, and there's a lot of resentment from people that I've spoken to that he did not represent their views in that very important piece of legislation. So we come to today, to polling day, where it is going to be a very, very interesting contest, and no doubt there is going to be some relief from voters here that they've come to the end of 5 weeks of incredibly intense campaigning. They finally get to cast their vote and have an outcome at the end of the day.